So we got 12-12 with a wipe, which we were able to play quite a bit now. And there are some significant changes with this wipe, like inertia or the flea market change. So basically they removed the ability to trade high tier equipment on the flea market. And at first with those changes it looked like that this is going to be the best wipe we ever had. But there are a couple of small issues that could turn out to be really devastating to the game. In terms of player frustration and players just straight up quitting the game. But what do I actually mean? What's the issue? Basically it's an MMO related game, so of course you get certain advantages when grinding hours in the game. And again, for an MMO that's completely normal, so I think nobody was complaining there. But the advantage was pretty limited. So somebody that is just a very good player and has a lot of knowledge in the game, but maybe not as much time, for example if he has a family, he was still able to use his skills and knowledge to catch up pretty fast, especially with the availability on the flea market. But now, oh boy. So let's look at the changes on the flea market. So again, basically all high tier equipment items that were considered meta are banned. So you're not able to buy, for example, a slick armor using rubles anymore. But that's not quite true. I mean, yes, the direct trade on the flea market is banned, but the trades didn't get changed at all. So for example, for the slick, if you have Rackman level 4, you can trade a slick. So what do? Yeah, of course, you just buy the items on the flea market and trade your slick. In the end, you still have a slick, you paid pretty much the same amount of money, maybe even less. It just took you 3 to 5 clicks more. And that itself isn't the issue. The issue is the availability to other players. Because again, for that trade, you need Rackman on level 4, that's level 42. That's already higher than your average player. And that's just slick armor, same goes for top tier ammo like the M855A1, which is still available for 300 rubles. So with all of that, what is gonna happen? It's actually pretty simple. People that play a lot of Tarkov, me included, we are gonna reach those traded levels pretty fast. And with the flea market, this gives us access to all of those meta gear again, just like last wipe. But you, the casual player, does not. Before this change, you could at least buy competitive rounds, so that you have a chance against the big guys, but now you can't. Because while all the high level boys are gonna run around with meta gear, now you don't have access to anything competitive. For example, the best thing you can buy at the beginning is M855 and later M856. Now try fighting a big guy, now talking slick and Altin helmet, with those rounds and see how well it goes. So the gap between the casual player and the, let's call them, really big fans of the game or full-time streamer, the gap between those two groups just became way bigger. Up to the point that the casual player just can't really compete anymore unless you put in the hours to unlock those trades. But again, not everybody has the time to grind hundreds of hours. Meaning while I have access to best tier ammo, armor, you can buy a level 4 rig. Now I made a video a couple months ago talking about exactly that. I proposed the removal of all high tier equipment on the flea market. But in this video we also talked about how to adjust the traders to avoid exactly what is happening right now, to avoid this huge barrier. And I'm really afraid of what's gonna happen once people realize that in a month or two. Because imagine you have suddenly a lot of players running around with level 5, 6 armor, pretty good guns, and you have, let's say, 5 million rubles, but you can't buy anything to compete. And the only difference is basically the other player just has more hours in the game. And that would be totally fine in a usual MMO game where you have level based maps and stuff, but in Tarkov, we all get thrown into the same lobbies. So I see a lot of people just saying, well, if Tarkov requires me to play that many hours to compete, then I might as well play another game. And it doesn't stop there. With the implementation of inertia and it being influenced by your skills, meaning endurance and strength, I'm not 100% sure which one and how much they influence the skill, but they do. This also means that as somebody with not a lot of time, your movement feels slow, sluggish and clunky, while the movement of a high level player is just way better and more competitive. And both of those changes just mean that even if you are a really skilled player, you're pretty limited if you don't have time to really grind those hours. Otherwise, higher level players with exclusive access to good gear are just gonna stomp everybody else. Now, maybe that's intended, but I doubt it. And I want to make something very clear. I like the flea market changes, but I think that giving exclusive and easy access to the best stuff in the game to everybody that just reaches high enough of a level isn't ideal. And it could lead to a lot of people, casual people, just realizing that they can't compete and just straight up quit the game. And who knows if they will come back next wipe? Who knows if they will trust BSG to balance the game decently once more? So I'm really afraid that this will do permanent damage to the game and the player base. Now, if you're concerned as well, please share this video, spread it around, help it get the reach it needs to maybe reach BSG. And in terms of solution, well, there are so many. One could be to just remove level 6 armors from all traders. Make it something special that you have to find in raid. Or make the trade in a way that you have to hand in found in raid items. Of course, they would have to adjust the trades because you can't expect the trooper to be found in raid every time. And maybe don't sell the best ammo in the game for 300 rubles. I honestly don't know what the solution is. I just wanted to raise awareness to the problem because I'm really afraid that we will lose a lot of players to that. And I think we all agree that it's not that fun to play on pretty much dead servers. So if you think that's something we should be concerned about as well, please share this video with your friends, thumbs up, help it to get the reach it needs. So thank you and Merry Christmas.